All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Stock futures rise. Tesla upgraded. These two stocks approach buy points are hot on IBD's presses this morning. Looks like Burger King parent tops earnings views. 399 composite rating stocks are in buy zones. Let's go check that one out. What's up, Ted? All right, so this actually kind of comes on the heels of another article I saw over top stocks being accumulated by institutions. Salesforce, CRM is Salesforce, very big company, very high quality company. I believe they're calling this a cup with handle. And so that, yeah, so there's a cup with handle. The top of this is the weekly chart. Here's the daily chart. Just to acclimate you there, Ted, if you don't know. So the high of this, that's your buy point right there. This is a cup. IBD considers one red week a handle. So it's a little abnormal to crypto, but one red week is considered a handle. This is a weekly chart. And so this is your buy point. You don't buy above 5% over the buy point. We're at about 4%, or actually a little less than that, over the buy point. I guess I need some clarification if that's the buy point or that's the buy point. But either way, we're within 5%. So CRM already within the buy point. Also, we have earnings coming up. In about 3 weeks. So there's your buy point. Volume's a little low. Volume's a little bit low on that one. So not super happy about CRM. SPLK, Splunk. So there's your, looks like they're going to call that a cup 2. They're going to call that a very large cup with handle. This is one of those that was being accumulated in mass by institutions. You can see a nice run up there. Volume's a little bit low. We'll see if it can break out on volume. It's already had a couple of potential attempts. No major volume on the breakout, though. That usually signs a yellow flag. Earnings coming up in about 2 weeks. WWE. This is Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment or something like that. Morning, Justin. Here also, they've got to be calling that a cup with handle. That's pretty loose definition. That should have already had a breakout, and again, no volume on the breakout. Not sure if I'm so happy with that one. And Beat is the other one that they mentioned. They have 4 stocks. Here's the 4th one. So that one with good volume on the breakout. See there, it's about double average. And pulling back, not so bad actually. I'm not super opposed to this one, although it has pulled back beneath the breakout point. Not ideal. Support at the 10-day so far. We'll see what happens. NASDAQ on Friday had a nice little turnaround day. Look at that. Elevated volume, not high volume, but elevated over this little garbage right there. Closed towards the high of the day past the open, which was nice. And on the overnight session today, we get a little bit of a gap up. There's no gap here because these are futures, but on the Qs, you'll get a gap of this much right there. A little bit of a bounce right there. And consolidating said bounce, and we'll see what happens. All right, so let's see what other articles they've got there. There's the paper that was out, so let's go explore the paper for a few minutes. Check out some lists, some IBD 50 stuff. Sector leaders are always a very good list to look at. So I'll keep this. Well, I'll pull this over for a little bit as I explore, and then I'll pull it back over as we go to look at some names. Political risk hangover, Wall Street. Threats of election cycle. IBD 50. Sector leaders. Let's start here. Nice big sector leader list. Nice big sector leader list. You got Team, Beat, two of the ones we just looked at. KL, which is a gold company we've seen for the past couple of months. Looks like it's still rocking higher. Five Below. Could be considered a double bottom base. They're calling it a cup style base. And your buy point, we're really close to the buy point on 5. Palo Alto Networks, RealPage. What's this one? RealPage. 99 composite, 96 EPS, 85 relative strength, 17% ROE. Provides on-demand software for managing, screening, leasing, and accounting in rental housing industries. Forming a cup base with a 66 buy point up there. So not really near any major. RealPage is a nice contender though. It's an interesting pattern. CRM, we already looked at that. Weak volume, yeah, I was just noting that on entry from handle. Yeah, weak volume on entry from handle, exactly. TTD falls 7% below double bottom, then rebounds. Vive Systems extended above double bottom base 101.49 buy point, already up at 112 or 115, excuse me. So Vive, we talked a little bit about this one breaking this little trend line right there. The only other one really to look at is RP. So let's go look at RP. My initials, actually. And RealPage on the weekly here. You can see the uptrend. That's good volume. A little bit of weaker volume here, as we can see. We got earnings coming up on the 26th. 50-day moving average. Nice and flat. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 200-day nice and flat. There's your 50-day curling back up. 10-day being supported by the 10-day, which is always nice. Yeah, no major patterns here. You had that, although I think I've seen RealPage around, but I haven't really paid much attention to it. Not until now, at least. Let's put you on my leaderboard, my watch list, whatever I should call it. So far, nice little consolidation on RP this last week. 2 red days. Friday was a nice little green day. If you want to take an early potential entry, you see a couple of highs over here, breaching this $60 level. Looks like 59.5. Could do the body good. I have to see if that works out. That's not a bad one. Hasn't run up tremendously yet. Maybe it'll do so in the future. Let's double check on Vive. So Vive, we talked about a double bottom, and that was our buy point, up 15%. Already broken out, however, since the high would be here. This would be your breakout day, and volume a little light. Little light volume on the breakout day. Although I've always wondered if you could find a few larger days accumulating together like you see here. 1, 2, 3, and that lead to a breakout. I don't know. Maybe we'll use Vive as a test vehicle for that. All right, so there's Vive. Let's go look at IBD 50. Anything else? I'm going to take a look at IPO leaders for fun. TTD, MEDP, sales points. So they have these nice technical notes at the bottom. Fall 7% below double bottom entry, then rebounds. Sharp reversal. Retest handles buy point. That's a potential. Moving up right side of a cup-shaped base. Sale. Okay, go look at that one. 34.70. That's a good price point, 34.70. I don't talk much about price point, but when you get those ones that are below 50, above 25, that can be a nice little sweet spot for new leaders to start to evolve. Okay, so there's your IPO. We had a nice run up, and now we had a pullback and a nice rebound, down about 40%. Not too bad. Looks like it had a little consolidation there, or a little trend line, excuse me. Little trend line flowing right across there. That's been breached. Another little consolidation. We just saw this a little bit ago, and I already forgot the name. Darn it. It was RealPage, I think. RP. What's up, Ted? Would I be better off running with TQQ and staying there since I can't monitor all the stuff you do? TQQ is a great investment. There's nothing wrong with that at all. At all. I've got I think half my account is in TQQQ right now. I have all my son's Roth IRAs and the TQQQ. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad investment at all. We're in a general uptrend, so that's just going with the trend, and you're going to get triple the trend. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever, not at all. But I will say stocks require a little bit less time, I would say, than cryptos do, because cryptos are so volatile. These are a little bit less volatile due to the massive institutional environment that we're in. But answer to your question is yes. Sales not looking too bad right here either. Earnings coming out looks like in a 221. What's up, Eli? About 10 days from now. So that one's not too bad. Let's go see what else we have on IPO leaders. What's this? We're sailing to Ted's truck. Provides self-service data analytics software platforms and enables organizations to enhance business outcomes. Ooh, that's a lot of words. In buy range from choppy base 6570 buy point AYX. Yeah, it is a very choppy base, but it should be a flat base. Coop extended cup from cup bases 8463 buy point. Looks like pretty good volume on the weekly right there. You're going to have at least one day. That's going to be some nice. Let's go look at Coop. COUP. Some good names here, man. This is a much better market than the last time we looked at the IBD 50. It was really slim pickings. Look at Coop. Good volumes. Man, look at that. Look at those volumes right there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Little retest. Just broke out. Market open, so it's breaking out today. So little mini breakout. It is extended technically from your buy point, but yeah, 13.5%. But I don't know, man. That's not looking too bad. I'm going to put Coop up here. Actually, let me look at the fundamentals for Coop. All right, 98 composite rating, 72 EPS, 99 relative strength. EPS growth, no percent. PE of 672. Last quarter EPS 260%. A lot of blanks on this one. I like it technically though. Let's put Coop up here. I like adding names to my list. Makes me feel a little bit happy. Twilio. Now that the market's open, I'll throw these up here as we go. And if you're gonna maintain that, I'm gonna have to change this again for the umpteen millionth time. All right, Twilio. Near highs well extended from 10-week line. Yeah, right. Zscaler operates a massive global cloud security architecture delivering the entire gateway security stack. Again, more words. Daily chart shows a handle buy point of 45.97 extended. And maybe a little bit. Next one is EPRT. Do we have this one? I'm not sure if we have EPRT or not. Let's see what our leaders are doing today before I get back to that. Commvault, Ring, EC down here, Micron down here. What do we got? Lilly chopping around. Basically flat though. And then towards the top we've got Car, Weibo, Hertz Rent-A-Car. They're always up here every once in a while. Huya Square up 2%. They were looking good on Friday. All right, look at that, guys. Breaking our triangle. Look at that. Breaking our little triangle today. Very nice for Square. Earnings 227, couple weeks after that. Tesla also being upgraded. I heard that in on IBD article. Being upgraded today. Pulling back into this wedge, if you will. Maybe evolving into a channel. Or maybe it's been a channel the whole time. Don't tell me who I am. You're a wedge. I'm a channel. Looking, yeah, a little bit. Maybe a little more like a channel. We'll have to see. But either way, bouncing up higher is pretty good. Sell volume here pretty aggressive on that crazy down. I think that was the downgrade. That was the downgrade before earnings. That red day was barely red. That had a nice big rebound. And yesterday, or Friday as it would be, nice accumulation day as well. INSG up 1%. NetEase, Team, Twitter, Amarin, Starbucks 1%. Starbucks into new highs already. They were into new highs on Friday. You can see right there. And continuing today after earnings. That's good. That's a very good price behavior. Very, very good price behavior. Volume's a little low. I'd like volume to be higher, but, it is what it is. But it's moving. INS, Paycom. That's not Paycom. That's not Paycom. That's Paycom. All right, Paycom on the gap. Remember the gap the other day on earnings? Look at the weekly chart. Just boom, straight up out of it. It's awesome. Start trading stock account again. Started last month. Yeah, so Ted doesn't know the ecosystem here. So it's a little less structured than the Real Crypto channel. In Real Crypto, in cryptos in general, there's really not that many coins that are in decent shape. Like, a lot of them are illiquid. A lot of them trade on weird exchanges. In the stock market, it's completely different. We have thousands of very, very good stocks to choose from. And I would say even up to 100 could be very high quality. So your ecosystem is broader. So I have this watch list that I've been maintaining for a long time. Occasionally names. I like to keep old winners on here if I can. And then I like to also put new leaders on here. So you'll hear me talk about the same names over and over and over and over again. Like, we've talked a tremendous amount about Team. Even since the lows here, it's been holding up the 200-day. We've been talking about Team. I haven't been saying buy Team, but we've been discussing it pretty much all the way up, even probably half the way down. But, I really look at the best IBD companies and the best, and CanSlim is their system, and you talk about high earnings, you talk about earnings per share growing at a good clip, you talk about good sales, good institutional sponsorship, things of that nature. Also some interesting ones. So the ones highlighted are ones that I'm kind of looking mostly at. I'm not sure if it's easy to see on your screen, but I got Goose here. The ones that are in different colors, most of these are highlighted in black, but Team, AMRN. There's a couple others that we watch all the time that I don't have highlighted, because I can't have, if I have 50 stocks highlighted, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I try to keep that list limited. But we talk about the MJ stocks all the time. Where are they at this morning? Speaking of which, let's just look at MJ. MJ flat today. I'm assuming Cron's going to be fairly flat. Yep, Cron's flat as well. So, if you like anything, you'll kind of get acclimated to it. But you'll see the same, even if you just listen, you'll see the same names over and over again. And, we talk about Square and this base and this triangle for a little bit. It's breaking out today. That's hopefully that breakout continues on that one. So I don't have the same structure that we have with Real Crypto. But you'll end up kind of catching the gist of it if you follow along. Otherwise, it's going to sound like gobbledygook, because I talk about a ton of names, as you should in the stock market. Even in crypto, I go through, what do we have, 150 charts. I do that every day. I do that every single day. And if you didn't pay attention, you're going to be like, I'm trying to think of a crypto right now. It's like, what's EOS? You're just not going to know. You're going to be like, what's DGD? What's DGB? And you'll think they're the same ones. So, is what it is. Yeah, honestly, I think you do fine listening to I think crypto, you probably have to watch more. Stocks, I think you're okay listening, because the action isn't as fast, and it takes place usually over a period of a week or two. Where in crypto, you're talking, I may not even, be there to effectively analyze a particular setup, because we're looking at 2-hour charts. We're looking at daily charts. So I think listening's fine. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Kind of. I nearly drowned by my water cup. Okay. All right, let's keep going through these lists over here. Zscaler. I don't know if I have this one. That looks interesting. Oh, this is the one we just talked about with the extended buy point. So there's your buy point. It says it's extended 7% out. Yeah, a little extended. Volume's pretty good though. You got a few nice little volume pops, not a lot of distribution. I'm not super mad at this one. I wouldn't mind a bit of a smaller position maybe due to the extension of it. EPRT, MGP, looks like that's coming up. Lopsided base with a weird MGP. They've got this going right here. I don't think that's so lopsided. Actually, I think that's on the weekly. I don't think this is that bad. It's a little wide, probably. You see it goes from, actually, maybe not that wide at all. These numbers are pretty small. 20% deep base. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. What is this? It's a REIT. Oh, that's why. REIT that owns, acquires, leases large-scale casino resort properties in the United States. So you're not quite sure if you're going to have rip-roaring breakouts out of this one. NASDAQ turning negative after we were looking positive for a minute. We're not quite negative technically, but negative from the open. We're already making new lows here. So we'll see if Friday's a fluke or what that was. Looks pretty good. And then INVH, another REIT. I don't like investing in REITs. They don't move like a typical growth stock. This thing could trade this range here for years in a REIT. I'm not sure what the, don't know if they show, oh, yield, there we go. So MGP, this actually yields 5.5%, which is not bad. That's actually a pretty good yield. Anything over like 3.5% is really good, and this is 5.5%. So that's really good. EPRT's 5.24%. For you guys interested in dividends, I love IBD. They got everything. They even have the income investor for dividend. Here's a dividend yield of 9% on ABR. If you guys are into yield, there you go, right there. Look at that chart, and 9%. I mean, I'm not too mad at that. I'm not too mad at that whatsoever. That's not bad. That's not bad. 10% yield. IBD's great, man. They got everything. There's only 6 charts in their income investor yield, so these guys have really good, really good stuff. 10% on CIM. Look at how nice and sideways that is. That's pretty nice. You've got about a 13, 14, 15, about a 15% wide range at the top here. I'm not sure what the catalyst was for this. First, I've seen this name, but I mean, you're talking a 10%, 10.44% yield right now at the highs. If this thing breaks out to the upside, there's a possibility that that yield goes down. But if you lock that in early, you'll get price appreciation and you'll get yield, which is really good. PE of 8. Looks to be the lower among the group there. Debt, 264%. The most debt. Anyway, there's some income for you guys. If you want some income, you're welcome. Big Cap 20. Let's look at IBD 50. IPO leaders, sector lead. Oh, no, Big Cap 20. That's different. That's a different list. Okay, Big Cap 20. Vive. Again on the Big Cap 20. If you see a name on many lists, that is very good. That is very good. ServiceNow, which we were talking about, we've been talking on and off about ServiceNow. The chart's been really choppy. Hasn't had a good entry point. Never has had a good entry point, should I say. And then you get like a 15% gap up. So sometimes you just can't win. Welcome to stocks. Adobe. Adobe looks a lot like Vive, as a matter of fact, but earnings aren't for a couple more weeks. 3/14, so almost a month out. And looks like it's reversing from a potential entry point. Just below 260.82 double bottom entry. So just below that entry point. Keep that in mind. PANW, that one looks like it's kind of just moving higher. It's had a couple of small bases to try to get it at. CRM, we talked about CRM already at the top. REGN, that's still up on a list. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Comcast, CMSCA, one of the more strange symbols that I can't even type. CMCSA, excuse me. So that's on their IBD Big Cap 20 list. Gets back above 10-week moving average as cup forms. So there's a cup base right there. Undercutting, so it's a first stage base. It's going to be weird. TDG, excuse me. Rip, roaring, and rallying. Look at that. All the way through these levels. Perfectly viable in many scenarios. Even before that huge gap on earnings, man, someone knew something. That is definitely those earnings being leaked. And sometimes you can take advantage of that. But, yeah, is this not... I thought I had Is TDG on here, or do I just look at it often enough? I missed that, though. Missed that one. Oh, well. What else? Splunk. We've already looked at this one. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit. Again, lackluster volume on the breakout. That shows lack of institutional, I won't say support, but interest. XLNX. This is a... I don't have this one, but this is one that was kind of rocking, man. I don't have this one on here either. We saw this on another list the other day. We talked about this one. I don't remember when, but I think it was after the breakout. It was on a list of like top tech names or something like that. But looking really good. That just extending and just reaching higher. I know it kind of looks like a rising channel, and yes, it does. And you can see even here we had one of these rising channels that ended up pulling back. So maybe wait for a pullback to our 50-day, and that would be a great entry for XLNX. Crown Castle CCI, I think it is. Creeps above 117.70 entry and subdued volume in buy zone. So it's in a buy zone, but there's no major volume there. EW, we haven't talked about this one for a while. It's on my list. First stage consolidation shows 175.10 buy point, which is above this craziness right here. And this is like the weirdest little set of circumstances. Not quite an island top, and not quite anything else. See, it's already flipping out on me. And didn't change the time horizon and time axis. I don't want 183. I want 20. And I don't know how to keep that like that. All right, bouncing back in the market here today. Very nice. EW, where am I? There we go. PBA. PB&J. Without the and or the J. PBA, what do you do? Canadian operator of a 100,000 kilometer pipeline across Alberta and British Columbia. Climbs off lows approaching 36.94 buy point. All right, there you go. AVGO. Oh, good volume on the right side of this thing, too. Look at that. That's pretty good volume. Climbing up. Climbing up. Subdued on the downside. Interesting. Looks like he's breaking that trend line there, but that's going to be what it is. And, all right, cool. AVGO. Wow. Okay, so AVGO, I haven't looked at this one in a while. I've had this trend line drawn. I don't know for how long. I'm gonna try not to move that scale. Look at this uptrend this thing has been in since 2013, down at 36. It's almost 10x'd. Well, I won't say almost, but it's gone up a lot. 660%. Not quite, yeah. Not even close to 10x. But still, 660% is closer to 10 than 0. So, but look at that. Undercutting, making, resetting the base count, maybe ready to go again. 98 composite rating, 92 EPS rating. ROE is 40%, which is great. Designer of analog, telecom, industrial, automotive, and analog ICs for telecom, industrial, and automotive, and computing markets. There you go. Near the top of its buy range from handles 261.69 buy point. Oh, okay. So there's your cup with handle. Pretty much in line with my line right there. And again, tepid breakout volume on this one. It's hard for market made a new little low right there. It's hard for me to buy these that have no volume on the breakout. It's just against my nature, so I probably won't. Okay, MasterCard. Always good to buy MasterCard and Visa. We talked about that at the lows. I didn't harp on it, but I'm like, you never get MasterCard and Visa under the 200-day moving average. And there you go. It's not going to happen again. It happened once here, once here. Let's say a couple times right there. I don't know. You never know. Maybe we'll bounce up, go into another little correction, bounce up in another correction. Maybe we'll get a couple more opportunities to buy it under the 200-day. But Visa and MasterCard, I mean, they've got it on lock. PayPal and Stripe are barely denting these guys. All right, what else? LAC. Oh, IAC, not LAC. Forms short handle on long cup. There you go. 212.38 buy point. So already up above the buy point. Not sure volume's very heavy. Not really. I mean, that technically. Oh, that's. Oh, there's the red bar. Okay, that's green. So, all right, yeah, and Nasdaq rolling back over. Yeah, not really ready for prime time in terms of volume. After earnings though, so that's good on IAC. PLD, Prologix, another REIT, and just launching into new highs. They're not showing a yield. Oh, there it is, 2.71%. Hold on a second, guys. Be right back. All right, fam's leaving. Had to go say goodbye. All right, Biomad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's get to IBD 50. Yes, there's more. There's always more stocks. Number one on the IBD 50 is Beat. Paycom down negative here. Lilly down 1%. Now we're getting some going into the red with this little sell-off on the NASDAQ. And, okay, there we go. Oh, hi, babe. Paycom down 2 is quite a bit. Lilly down 1. Still hanging out in that rising channel. I almost did one right afterwards on the crypto analysis question. I don't know, just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling it. I've had a really busy past like 4 days. So but I mean, yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. I mean, so far it's like 50. So far it's like 50-50, honestly. I mean, I knew we would try new highs. We talked about that a couple days ago in the Power Hour. We attempted new highs in a lot of names. Bitcoin late last night. Oh, looks like Ethereum did break out. I didn't see Ethereum. Litecoin tried it Litecoin tried it up here. I actually shorted it up here. Um, so I'm in profit right now, but I was thinking about taking profits this morning because it's not continuing to the downside. I actually didn't look at Ethereum. Ethereum actually rip-roared higher a little bit there, so put your crypto charting skills to work. A best way to develop a list of stocks to watch. My list seems long and I can't even see the list. Well, I'll take some out, Ted. I'll post them to you in Slack. How's that? And that way you can go through those. So um, my list is kind of it's long and it's not really that long, but it's not long for stocks. It's kind of convoluted. There's like a mixture of oldies like STNE. This isn't really a leader anymore. This was a recent IPO that I was looking at for a minute. Some of these come on and off the list. I look for IPOs because they can have really good rallies after the IPO. They form what's called an IPO base. So anyway, some of these aren't going to make any sense. Some of these will make sense. Like Tesla. Tesla makes no sense. It's like you can draw lines and stuff, but who knows what they mean, really? I mean, Tesla's just everyone likes Tesla. I don't know anyone that like doesn't like Tesla, and those people that don't like Tesla usually don't hear from them. So not much of a concern, but it's hard to graph Tesla and get any kind of major analysis out of it. But yeah, you can do that. I will say charting stocks and cryptos are different. They are different, so keep that in mind. You're never going to get a yeah, they're different. They both have their idiosyncrasies. Stocks need a much longer time horizon. You can't, I mean, you can use like a 2 hour or a 4 hour or a 1 hour, but the gaps in between the days really kind of messes up the charts. So you pretty much use the daily and the weekly charts. Unless you're going to be actually day trading, then you can use the intraday charts. Oh, but yeah, so in regards to crypto, yeah, I didn't see the Ethereum bump up. That's an interesting development on Ethereum. Bitcoin not so much, but Ethereum looking like it's starting to stair step a little higher. That's an interesting one. Litecoin not so much though. Popped lower. Could be a bear flag, but it has a higher low, so probably implies a little bit more bullishness than bearishness at this stage of the game. But yeah, so we're 50-50, but it looks like maybe we're going to end up just marching higher. Bitcoin Cash still dropping. Bitcoin hasn't really rallied that much. You can see it's still within a range right there. So, there we go. All right, looks like NASDAQ going red here. Looks like it's been red for a minute. I just didn't notice it, but the bar itself going red, that'll be a psychological indicator for some traders. Just the bar being red. But we're in a little consolidation here on the daily chart. Looks like we're kind of maybe slowly starting to stair step up. You'll have some weird days, then one day that makes up a majority of your move. Kind of like this, right? You have some weirdness one day, then a couple of nice days, and then it gets weird. Then you have like one day that makes up a majority of that move right there. It takes you from this high all the way into the lows of this next one. One bar. That's why you don't trade in and out of TQQQ. That's why you go with the trend, because you'll end up missing those. All right, so let's go back to IBD 50. We got Vive, CyberArk, TTD. Paycom 5. We didn't look at 5 below. I don't think we did. If we did, I want to look at it again. Yes, James. I'm busy, Bugs. Huh? Yeah, I'll let you play it for a little bit. I'll log him into his learning game. Let me see it.
Okay. I think Ethan make It got a new game.
No, it's an ad.
Oh, my game. I actually wanted my I didn't want this learning game. I wanted my other learning game. I wanted my other one.
No, this is the one you play.
I want my acorn one.
What acorn one? Hold on, guys. All right, sorry, guys. All right, Nasdaq bouncing back a little bit. ETH's got resistance at 122. Looks like 124. Yeah, a little bit there. This is more bullish behavior right here than not bullish, but yeah, it's definitely looking a little better. Okay, so let's get back to the IBD list. So we had 5 below right here. Earnings are coming up 320. That's a ways away. Wow. That's a long time. So this thing could run without the problem of earnings for a while. What do they call this? Double bottom? They say forms cup and handle on cup style base. On cup style base. So they're calling this the base, or they're calling this the base? Is it too wide for a double bottom? I would almost consider this a double bottom base. There's a pretty clear resistance point right there. We're trying to poke above it today. I don't know if we're going to have enough market to push 5 up above that. But I would almost consider this a buy point right there if it can get some volume. And this volume is nothing. 99,000 versus 1.8 million for the day. Yeah, even Friday was 436,000. And we're nowhere near any of that. So we'll see. Could chop, could rally up slowly. We've seen a little bit of that recently. I believe I have 5 on my list. MEDP's been on a couple lists. Let's look at that one. I think I have this one as well. Ooh, look at Roku taking it on the chin today. Down 5%. You see a pretty clear line in the sand there at $65, and it's starting to chop around that. It tried going above it. No volume really on the run-up, and then it just faltered on, again, no volume. So that's going to be difficult to try to look at that. Let's take a look at Roku real quick. It broke out of our little trend line right there pretty handily. Put in a pretty nice high volume candle. Looks like it's a topping candle. And then we're consolidating before earnings now. Earnings coming up on 2/21. That's in about 2 weeks. Week and a half. Next Thursday. So it looks like we're probably just going to consolidate up until earnings. They use that to sell before earnings. And with Roku being down so low, looks like some institutions aren't necessarily super into it. Shopify has been a winner since its IPO in May 2015. I haven't looked at Shop in a while. I don't know if we have looked at Shop. I haven't really thought about Shopify. But yeah, it was went in pretty big. 2017 was a big winner. Nice consolidation here. Looks like it broke out of a nice little range. a very tight channel. That would have been a great breakout buy point, up 11%. A little extended to buy, earnings coming up. Looks like imminent. Looks like tomorrow before the market. So today's your last day to try to get some shop. Looks like some people are getting some shop before earnings. I'm not so sure if I want to take that bet with them, but usually not something I like to do. But yeah, you can see right there, there's a nice little consolidation, a huge run up. You go from $18 to $180. That's a 10x in 2.5 years. That's amazing. Taking another drink of water. Hopefully it doesn't try to drown me again. But so, you know, the hope is that we can get a bigger rally since we've had this nice wide consolidation. Down about 33%, which is pretty good. Could be probably considered a cup. I know it doesn't look at all like a cup, but flat base is 15%, and anything past 15%, it's got to be a cup with handle or double bottom, basically. So that's pretty much what you're stuck with there, some kind of a lopsided cup. But so they have an earnings preview for Shop Restaurant Brands. Shopify setting up in bullish fashion before earnings, and you know, they just did what I did there with Shopify in regards to the chart. Let's see what they. I don't know what they say. Okay. Results from enterprise software firm Shopify are due Monday after earnings close. The sector have been earnings reports in the sector have been outstanding, and another quarter of strong growth is expected at Shopify. According to Zacks, adjusted earnings, we're seeing 40% to 21 cents a share, with sales up 47% to $326 million. $326.96 million. Man, they must know every one of their customers. So Shopify with earnings looking pretty good. Yeah, they apparently this rise could be a bit of a gamble on the fact that the whole sector has been pretty positive. So they're assuming Shopify is going to be positive as well. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad. That's why earnings are always better just to wait till after earnings. But Shopify looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm catching some of these. I don't have all of these. You know, we pick our poisons. I'm currently in Square. I've been in Square since the break of this trend line here, and I do have TQQQ. I've been in TQQQ since, well, I added on. I've had some positions I bought here and here, so I'm a little bit. It got me underwater for a bit, and then I added some more. I think this day I added a little late, even after the follow-through day. I should have added on the follow-through day there, but I think I added here. So I'm up a little bit in my TQQQ position, kind of flat mostly, but I'm doing good. Yeah. So far I'm pretty happy. I'm looking for the next rally to really give me some nice profits, like Square starting to pop out here. Hopefully that can maintain. Looks like it's faltering a little bit. And I've got some MJ stocks and a couple other ones. MJ's been on a huge rally. Huge rally here. Same with Cron. I just play that ETF. I haven't played Cron individually, although we did have Cron on this breakout right there. We were kind of watching this for a while. This whole little setup underneath that little cup with handle right there broke out. I know some guys here got Cron, but they sold a little bit early. Is what it is. As long as you're taking profits out of the market, you're doing good. Yeah, liking the TQ trade, man. If that gets back up towards all-time highs, we'll be doing pretty good. All right, so let's get to the next IBD 50 list. Cadence CDNS, is that what that is? CDNS. That is a good-looking chart on the right side. Yes, indeedy. Volume's okay. Earnings 219, so coming up in about a week. And there's a nice little flat consolidation to buy off of. What do these guys do? CDNS develops electronic design automation software, related hardware for electronics companies in circuit design. Okay, edges out of buy zone 4750, entry of choppy base. So they're calling that your buy point up there. I would have done it down here out of this little consolidation. personally, but didn't even know this thing existed. 29 PE, looks like we've got 16% annual EPS. Debt 65. Last quarter EPS 40% plus. Prior quarter 32% plus. Oh, okay, that's good. So increasing EPS. Last quarter sales plus 10%. That's why it's ranked 16th. 3 quarters EPS greater than 15%. So yeah, not bad right there. Looks like there's some nice bullish action right there. There's a lot of green days in a row for CDNS. That looks pretty good. And look at this run this thing has had. I've never heard of this thing. This is the funny thing about the stock market. You're like, why haven't I heard of this? 99 composite rating. Wow. 94 EPS, 92 ROE, 45% ROE, EPS 92, composite 94. What the hell? They flip them. Okay, anyway, I won't show it to you guys. It's kind of weird though. Composite rating 94, EPS 92, ROE 45%. So all very good metrics for the CDNS. I'm putting this on my list. I like this thing. And it's in a good sector. Okay, so we have another one, HZNP. I'm sorry, you put Z in your stock symbols. Not going to work out well for you. Note is in buy range after breakout from cup with handle. 810. I got to go here in a little bit, guys. If you guys want me to look at anything, please go ahead and note it. Looks like the Nasdaq is maybe catching a little bit of a bottom, getting some foundation under it today. Hopefully, we'll have to see. No major pullbacks yet. That one day on Thursday, and then Friday was a nice little reversal day, and hopefully we can kind of chop our way up a little bit here. I think that'd be great. Paycom 2.68% taking it on the chin this morning. AMRN, Twitter, Lilly getting some back. It was down 1%, now down 0.65%. VMW flat, which is VMW's been really good. We've talked a lot about VMW. Looks really good and just continues higher. No major errors in the chart. Just continues going up little by little. That's what you want. This thing will bore you into a 30% gain. You'll just be bored out of your mind, and you're already up 16% from that level right there. I got AMED up here. It's doing okay. Looks like it's forming a handle in its cup with handle base. So there's your handle. Buy point is technical buy point is 139.90. 139.90 for AMED. Starbucks chopping around. We got Goose, INSG. INSG really gave up the goat on Friday. Had a nice little bounce off of the 50-day moving average. So there's a thing about the 50-day moving average. We haven't seen it a lot yet because we've been in a bear market. You can buy the first and second retests of the 50-day moving average. So technically, this is an add-on point, not a buy point, but an add-on point. And if you did want to buy this, then you would buy a smaller position. You wouldn't take a full position. Notice how that stopped right at that prior high. Also, elevated volume into the 50-day is okay, as long as you don't get elevated volume through the 50-day. All right, so that's kind of a couple of the minutia rules to volume and the 50-day moving average in stocks, is that you can have really heavy volume up until the 50-day. Institutions, for whatever reason, support the 50-day moving average. That's what IBD says. All the evidence suggests that, and so I go with that rule. So you can take that on merit or try to do some Googling yourself, but JP Morgan won't tell you that they support it there, nor will a lot of hedge funds probably, or pension funds or whatever. But that does appear to be the case. Baba Tencent. Okay, let's look at Baba and Tencent. Let me finish going through my thing here. I want to see what these are doing right now. But INSG may be coming right back. That could be good. Square coming... staying mixed today, not really dropping at 1.4. It was down a little bit more earlier. If this can have if we just chop this range all day, I'll be happy. Tesla up 3.67. Absolutely right. Yeah, Justin's saying Tesla was looking good and looking better. Although you're still within a rising channel. Rising channels are technically bearish. Rising anything is technically bearish. So, Car and Hertz Rent-A-Car leading us today. Looks like, I don't know why. Maybe there was news about cars. Oh, Moody's assigns definitive rating to Hertz Series 1 car ABS, whatever that means. Manitowoc. What are you doing, Manitowoc? You've been beaten down, my friend. This is one of those old leaders, and I just keep these on here. Manitowoc, if you don't know, they're a huge conglomerate. Well, not really conglomerate. They're global. They're a huge global company that basically rents construction equipment. They have like the biggest cranes in the world. So if you're going to build a building, you call Manitowoc and they give you this massive crane and they'll ship it to you anywhere in the world. But big day today. Looks like some big volumes coming in here at the lows. Maybe a potential change in behavior. And you have a nice little trend line and kind of a trend line. It's a little arbitrary, I guess. Maybe we got to do that. If that's the trend line, I don't know. Manitowoc is a like I said, a pretty high quality stock. Was a leader back in the day. Look over here. Look over here. We were trading it over here. I didn't trade Manitowoc much over here. Let's see what their current fundamental numbers look like. Because if they're not horrible, composite rating is horrible. 16 out of 100 or 99 for a composite rating. 8 relative strength. Of course, we know the downtrend's been tremendous. Let's see what some deeper numbers have to say here. All right, 16. Ranked number 4 in its industry group, manufactures cranes and related lifting equipment for the energy, petrochemical, construction, and mining. They don't say they rent. I thought they were. Okay, maybe they're just a manufacturer. I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything. Industry group rank 149 out of 197. So definitely a beaten down industry. Maybe prime for a comeback. I don't know. 207% EPS change last quarter. That's pretty impressive. So from you're covering up my number there, low print. 16 over 32. I'm a little flabbergasted as to why that's 207% EPS change last quarter. Last 3 quarters EPS change. Also, you go from negative earnings here to positive earnings here, and there's that volume coming in at the lows right there. So maybe it could be prime ready to for a rebound here on Manitowoc. Last 3 quarters average EPS growth rate 94%. For 3 quarters, that's pretty good. 1 quarter of EPS acceleration. EPS estimated change current is 58%. So you're getting good numbers out of Manitowoc. Estimate revisions are down. 2 years of consecutive annual EPS growth rate 95%. Estimated change for the current year. Sales margin and ROE are all red except for debt, which is only 39%. Let me just show it to you. So sales is 7%. 3-year growth rate on sales is negative 2%. So their EPS is improving, but I'm not sure why. They must be doing something to improve EPS. They have a lot of kind of missteps here, it looks like. 50-day average volume. Wow, pretty 557. The threshold is 400,000, so that's interesting. It's that low for a stock like this. Market cap's only 470 million. Really? Really? Wow, that astonishes me. Up-down volume is 0.8, which is neutral. Quarters of increasing fund ownership is 5. 2% change in funds owning stock. No news for Manitowoc. We'll see if that's good or bad. Interesting here. Very, very interesting mixed picture. You got increasing EPS, flat sales. There's talk about the global growth slowing, but interesting here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put an alert here on Manitowoc in case this thing wants to get going again. There could be a nice play there. EEFT. This is the one we have. Yeah, we've had EEFT on here. Yeah, it had this weird ninja star pattern. Then this one broke up. Okay, cool. Up 4% today. Rocking. Rocked on Friday. Looks really good. NSC. Don't know what NSC. Oh, it is Norfolk Southern. I didn't think it was Norfolk Southern. Okay. Cron looks like it's up a little bit. OGRMF up here. Weibo, IQ. Okay. Oh, shoot. I got to go. Let's go look at BABA 10 cent, then I'm out. Got carried away. So BABA looks like it's trying to overcome that trend line we drew. Looks like, I don't know when we drew it, a couple days ago, a week ago, something like that. trying to come back and hold something. Looks like earnings were decent. And they don't tell us what earnings were, apparently. Just tell us the estimate. 1666. Volume declining currently in this little consolidation. That shows too bullish action. I'm not really ready to jump in with a bunch of money yet, but you can maybe take a flyer position if you want to, but I'd probably rather wait for the breakout. All right, TCEHY. Tencent, yeah, so we were doing some charting on this one for a while. Looks like we had a little cup with handle right there. It broke out of that. Has been choppy coming out, but it's been going higher. Look at the volume flattening while the price is rising. Usually that's bearish, but coming out of a low like this, maybe, usually that's bearish. Usually you want to see more increasing volume as we get higher, especially because we're coming out of kind of in a low scenario. You want to see that volume come in. Doesn't mean it won't go higher, but it's just not ideal. This could continue higher on some lackluster volume. And then Harad's watching USAT. Hope I pronounced your name halfway correctly. And that looks bad. I wouldn't buy a gap down like that. It's just not my style at all. You got two huge gaps. I would not consider this a value play. Sometimes people see these gaps down and think it's a good value. I don't see a good value. I see danger in institutions running away, where institutions usually support stocks. If they're running away, they create these huge gaps. And there's two huge gaps on this. They're running away from this like the Titanic's on fire. So even if it reverses, you don't know that here. You don't know that here. You're going to put money at risk. Put money at risk with a very high probability of a return. So yeah, that's what I would go into there. All right, guys, I gotta run. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye-bye.